everybody. Okay, so it's Tuesday and it's 4 o'clock. So you know what that means? That means it's Jasmin, the Blue Fairy. And this week I have a special guest, Artie Hoffman. He came all the way from New York, New Jersey line to come and do readings for some of the clients and customers that I have come in the shop. So while this video is streaming and everybody's getting acquainted and joining in, I am going to go live on a couple other pages. You know how I do it, so just give me 1 minute here.
We're going to be talking about twin flames. We're going to be talking about relationships, and what was the other one that you're...
Oh, the last half hour. We're going to be taking, well, Artie's going to be taking some questions from viewers. Artie is a psychic and medium, and he has taken time out of his busy schedule to come and sit with a friend, which I appreciate you coming down.
No problem.
I'll tell you the story how we met after I go live here on a couple of pages. Let's see, friend's timeline.
Well, people always ask me, you know, what's one of the more popular topics that people like to talk about, and relationships is definitely within the top two. Sometimes it's about, you know, it could be about health, it could be about their kids, it could be about their job, it could be literally about anything. But as far as the most popular topics that people like to talk about is usually relationships. And, you know, a lot of people, they remain stuck in their relationship, you know, especially because of kids or because of finances. People become emotionally codependent upon one another or financially codependent upon one another. And so what happens is that a lot of people, to help suffice, to deal with their relationship or to deal with their life, a lot of times they choose to get lost more into their work, so they don't have to deal with, you know, dealing with their partner as much, or they deal with getting more involved with their kids, or they end up becoming more involved with alcohol, but just to have to deal with it. So I tell people that this is what's known as golden handcuffs. Golden handcuffs is when you're in a job or a relationship where the benefits are just good enough that keeps you there, but yet you're not happy being there, which is known as golden handcuffs. You know, it's an illusion. But it's tough, you know, and a lot of people sell themselves short, and a lot of it's because of expectations, you know, because of the kids, because of the family, you know, and a lot of people are afraid of transition, you know, going through that time in their life, to have to deal with, you know, a lack of not having the money, you know, being accepted by friends or being accepted by family members. And a lot of times people don't realize all the hardships that people go through, because when their partner is with the public, they act like super nice, they're the most loved person in the world, and then behind closed doors, they end up being a monster. They're a totally different personality. And so, you know, it gets to be very difficult. You know, should I stay? Should I go? You know, so when I read cards, or it's not just reading cards, but it's also being intuitive. You know, sometimes it's a black and white answer for me. Yes, you should go. Yes, you should stay and work it out. Other times I get what's known as, I like to call it probability of psychic probability answers. And that's like, you know, if you stay in a relationship, this is what I see happening. If you go for counseling, this is what I see happening. If you end up being on your own and moving away, this is what I see happening. If you go with the other person that might be in your life, this is what I see happening. You know, and there's like a spider web of opportunities for you, and I'll tell you what's going to happen according to your choices. And, you know, so some people say, well, Artie, you know, what am I, you know, what do you see me doing? I say, well, that's your free will and choice.
Absolutely.
I just told you what to expect based on your choices, you know? So that's our free will. But then again, you know, I would tell people, well, this is what I would do if I was in your situation. So sometimes the answer is, yes, you should move, but now's not the time. You know, and sometimes relationships will work you just need to step out of that rut. It's not really so much that the relationship is that bad. Sometimes you just need to you need to start dating each other again. Sometimes you just need to go out with friends again. And, or go to a bed and breakfast without the kids, or do something special. So you've done the mom and dad thing like for how many years or umpteen years, but, it's very important to like connect to each other on a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Even when you're married, when I say the boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, I mean that as on that intimate level, that fun level.
Absolutely, because if you lose that connection and it turns mundane, then that's the beginning of the end.
Yeah, and people just fall into complacency. They get lost into their jobs. They end up spending more time with their friends or doing whatever, or getting lost into their kids. And stuff.
This is what I mean about the topic that we chose for soulmates and twin flames. Because in my understanding is that soulmates are people that you connect with in each lifetime. They could be a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a friend, someone you meet and start dating. Okay, those are people that connect on a soul level with you. But twin flames are like lovers. Intertwined.
Right. A soulmate isn't what she was saying. A soulmate isn't necessarily as lovers. A soulmate, like she said, it could be your son, your daughter, a friend or whatever. Because you have that deep connection with each other, that super deep connection, that soulmate. And we have more than one soulmate. It's not just one soulmate. We have more than one soulmate.
Yes, and the thing of it is I've had readings before. And I've had
readings before that you've done, or that were done to
that
you?
were done for me. I've
Okay.
had readings on myself, and some lady.
I can't imagine.
It's terribly hard to read myself. Hang on, my tablet's doing that funny things again, guys. Only when I am doing spirit talk or spirit work do I get funny things that happen with my electronics. I had a few readings done in the past, and a lady has told me that I have multiple soulmates and I have a twin flame in my life that I have yet to meet. And then I had another lady tell me that my mother was my twin flame.
Really?
Yes. Which is very interesting to me, because I'm like, okay, well, when I think of twin flames, it's, like opposites of one another that finally connect and find each other.
When I think of twin flame, I feel like you and your mother are probably soulmates, but I don't see it as a twin flame. I see it as a soulmate.
Yeah, because I would think that twin flames are like destined for.
Yeah. This is more on love, on a deep love, and not everybody meets their twin flame in this lifetime, because a lot of times your twin flame could be in the spiritual world where you came into this world, on your own, and not that you're going to be without love. It's not that you're not going to be without a relationship. But your super twin flame, like for this, you are meant to go through this lifetime on your own for your own personal reasons, what you need to learn, what you need to go through. And so your twin flame is over on the other side. And in the following life, they come in here and you're hanging out in the spiritual world. So it's not like you're always there together, because it depends what you are, here to learn or to understand.
Absolutely.
So,
we have quite a few people. We have about 15, 16 people in here. So I just wanted to say hi to a few people. I know we got Maya in here. Maya's a friend of mine who I met through the shop.
Oh, cool.
She's a very nice lady. Deanna, Shannon. We got Karen's watching with us. Karen, who you just were with.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Artie was doing readings all day today. He's actually got some more openings tomorrow. So if anybody's interested in making the trip down to the Blue Fairey, you can call me tomorrow morning and make an appointment, or you can message me here on Facebook.
So slowly say your phone number.
Oh, yeah. You can message me here on Facebook. If you call me tomorrow, you're going to call me at 401-680-3973.
Say it slower. One more time. Go ahead.
It's 401-680-3973. I will not be in until 10, so you would need to call me, accordingly.
I'll be
But
here
like
at
I said-
8:30, but that's fine. I'm only kidding.
You can always message me on Facebook. You can connect with me that way, and I'll bring my book home tonight, so that way if you need an appointment, I can put you in. Michelle Ratto's here. She's in the UK.
Oh, well, welcome, love.
Yep. Gordon, Amanda, Greg, Jocelyn, Kate, Elizabeth. Jean's here. Jean is also a friend of mine who works through the shop sometimes.
Oh, awesome.
Who does workshops and stuff.
Very
so we
cool.
got a
Hello,
lot of
Jean.
support.
Very nice. Very nice.
Let's see. I want to tell you guys how I met Artie. And it's pretty interesting because Deb, who owns the Stagecoach here, before I opened my shop here in her bed and breakfast, she never really thought about spiritual stuff and this and that. And, she had paranormal people come in and do things in here just for, S&Gs, and so when I opened the shop, I've opened her mind to a lot of different things, and she's like, wow, oh, I never thought of that, and holy crap, like even today, when you asked me for tissues, I walked out, and she's upstairs, and I go, Deb, you got any tissues? She was holding a box. She's like, you've got some gift. I'm like, Deb, it's really not like that,
That's too funny.
But she's just awesome like that. So, oh God, when was it? It's got to be over a year now. That you stayed here. So Deb comes down, she's like, you gotta meet this guy, he's a psychic. And I said, okay.
Yeah, and I was
Have
shocked.
him come down.
Yeah, I was shocked that there was, because this is the first psychic place, or spiritual place, I'll say, that I've ever saw as a part of a hotel.
I know.
The Stagecoach.
That's right.
Yeah, Stagecoach.
And he walks in and he's like, who's the psychic? I'm like, and he goes, no, who's the psychic? And I go, I am. And he says, yeah, that's right. And the thing of it is ever since I made this friendship connection with him, he's always been like, you need to just and it's not coming from a harsh place, it's coming from a loving place, but it's like, okay, Artie's coming, I gotta get my shit in line. Like,
No.
It's good though, because he pushes me to do things that I know I need to do, and he just reinforces it. So I'm glad that I made this connection as a friendship with him. But right off rip, he's like, who's the psychic? Oh, you're hesitating? No, really, tell me, who's the psychic? It's you.
Oh yeah, I was the one who also told you that you're a medium. I
Yeah.
said that she didn't even realize that she could connect to the spiritual world, like, communicating to people's loved ones who have passed away.
And now I do it daily.
And now she does it on a regular basis. And this is where I told you that you needed to like push yourself to go in that direction. It's just an intuitive feeling. People always ask me, how do I get my messages? And I literally will hear voices in my head, and I'll see images that will just come to me really fast, and I express what I see. The difference between somebody who's psychic like us and somebody who's not is that a psychic is somebody who just expresses their first gut instincts, all right, and without question. There are times where the Artie in me, I would say like, no, I can't see this happening, or it seems weird that this person would be in this relationship, or it's weird that this person does this, or they act like that, or whatnot. And then as I'm looking at the cards, or as I hold their hands and I get messages, all of a sudden I go, oh wow. I didn't know you did this, and I didn't realize you did. And when I express who they are or what they did, or what they go, yeah. Or it's like I'll look at somebody who looks like Aunt Beat from Mayberry RFD, and I say, do you have tattoos? And yeah, I got tattoos. Like you would never guess in a million years that they had tattoos. So the human side of me sometimes will judge people, just to think, how they are, who they are, and then once I hold their hands, or once I start flipping the cards, all of a sudden I get these messages and images, and I go, wow, So it's really interesting, not realizing how bold certain people are, or some people who come off as bold, but they're actually a teddy bear, and so the spirituality helps you get underneath, like helps you seep within the spirit of the person and who they are as people. And you don't get caught up in the ego world for their status or anything, but you get to know them as people.
Absolutely, because, you know, I've had this experience numerous times where, you know, I've been on vacation. Hang on, guys. I've been on vacation or I've been at a party or something, you know, and this one experience, I was on vacation and I was doing readings for my girlfriends on the beach because that's what we do on vacation. They take me along, I think, as a pet, you know, and
do they cover your expenses at all?
No, we've been friends for 20-something years. I bring the cards for sheer enjoyment. But, you know, they almost like say, "You bringing the cards? You bringing the cards?" So, you know, they're my friends. So there was a couple of people on the trip that I didn't know, and I said, "Oh, well, yeah, come on, we'll do it." You know, so we're on the beach. Now, I know of this woman, and, you know, I looked at her and instantly did that judging thing. I was like, wow, what a hot mess. You know, like, she's just got, you know, drinking, drugs, all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, let's sit down. And I did her cards. And she had a breakdown. Like, I'm just crying and a total emotional release. And I saw everything in her being. And I just instantly felt that empathic compassion for her. And I look at her differently now because I know why she is a hot mess and why she does the abusive things to herself that she does. And unfortunately, it happens to me quite a bit where I connect with people on that level where I have that empathic thing go on, where I can actually feel my heart hurts for them because it's like, wow, you know, what you cover up is amazing.
Now, I just want to share, like, when somebody, like what she was just explaining, you know, when you're with somebody. Now, for me personally, I don't get drained by working with other people. And yes, you know, we are, you know, empathic. But it's very important. So they said, you know, don't you get drained? Don't you get beat up emotionally or spiritually when you're doing work for other people? And so it's like I say prayers to protect myself so that I am not caught up in other people's karma. What I do is I look at them and I observe what's going on. And, you know, when I'm with somebody in that moment, you know, you have my love, you have my attention, you have my energy, you have it all right there, and I can understand you. But, so I'll trigger off all this information, and it's going to affect you personally, emotionally, because it has to do with your life. But I don't take that in. All I'm doing is observing, I'm listening to the messages, and I'm delivering it, but I do not allow my energy to become emotionally connected. And it's not that I'm inconsiderate or that I'm not compassionate. It's just that I cannot afford to go in your trenches, in the foxhole with you. So
and that's what I do.
Yeah, I see myself as an eagle or a bird that is guiding you while you're in there, and I could guide you or see what's going on from being up here. But if I'm in the trenches with you emotionally, empathically, then I'm worthless because then I'm caught up and I can't see clearly because I'll be stressed out.
Yeah, so that's something I will eventually have to, you know, rise up out of, because I mean, it just happens automatically. I just automatically feel for that person, and it's because of, you know, I mean, like I said, I've been reading the tarot for 20 years, but I've been reading for the public, you know, since I opened the shop, basically. So it's a different kind of adventure for me now. You know, it's giving a lot more of myself, and I have to learn, you know, where to kind of separate that connection a little bit, so that way I can give everybody all of what I have instead of getting caught up and feeling so sorry or feeling so you know, compassionate towards the person that I'm not able to give them the proper guidance and the proper emotional support that they need, that is, you know, not turned off, but it's able to get the point across lovingly. Have you ever
Never
have you ever encountered, since we're doing like the whole soulmate, twin flame kind of thing, have you ever felt during a reading, and I know you've done over 19,000 readings in his life here, have you ever felt a soulmate connection with anybody that you've read for?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah? Well, let's talk about that, because we're talking about soulmates and twin flames.
No, you want to know something? Well, the girl who I'm with right now, it's like I come across I would say like 95% of my clients are women. So I'm going to be coming across a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something intuitively, like when I'm with somebody that I have that connection with. And it's this inner feeling. And it just so happens that, the girl who I'm seeing now, and, from my previous wife who I saw before, it was all a spiritual connection, was through a reading. And, like I said, I come across a lot of people, but yet I can't explain it. There's just this deep connection that I have. And I have a lot of friends because I do what I do. Now, it's a very, very, very small percentage of people who I allow to become a part of my personal life, because it gets to be very deep. I can't get emotionally invested in every single person who I come across. I'm with them in that moment.
Right.
But then when you have that connection, and it's just like Jasmin. It's like right now, it's like, we have that connection because we're on that same level of reading, and I have a lot of people who come to see me. I'll have therapists who come see me. I have other psychics who come see me. So you're talking to each other on that same level of understanding. It's like a mechanic talking to a mechanic, or a lawyer talking to a lawyer, a doctor talking to a doctor. So it's really cool when you could speak to somebody on a very, very deep level. Now, as far as my, personal, the person who I'm with right now, I connected on a deep emotional level with this person, and it's not that often that happens, but it's a chemistry thing. And that's what that's what I explain to a lot of people. It's a chemistry thing. When you're with that person, when you kiss that person, when you're with that person, how do they make you feel? And that's very important, so when you're with somebody, and if you're not feeling it, then it's like it becomes very codependent, and it comes in that survival mode, and it's not comfortable. When you're not enjoying each other's company, that's when the show is over. But but I also believe that when things are not working out well, there are times, every relationship goes through its hard times. I'm not saying just because you're going through some rough times, it's over. I'm not saying that at all. You have to work it. But the big thing is, when you're in a healthy relationship, it's very important to compromise. Compromise is a big thing.
I have a big problem with that.
Wait, and are you accepting of your partner for who they are, or are you trying to change them into who you want them to be? And that's a big problem. So the quality that attracts you of that person, you bring them into your life, what happens is that a lot of people try to change that quality because that's the quality that threatens them or that bothers them. Mm-hmm. But yet that was the quality that attracted to you. Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting how the dynamics work. And it's common. It's very common.
So I have a treat for you guys. There's about 17, 18 people in here. And in approximately, let's see what time we got here. It's 4:22. So in about 10 minutes, Artie here is going to take some questions.
I am.
Yes, one question. If you have something that, a relationship question or something that's in the realm of like the soulmate type of, topic that we're doing today, you can type it in. Please be very specific. Because these aren't going to be long, drawn-out answers. It's something simple with a simple answer. He's only here for a short time. Doesn't mean we can't make it a good time, right?
There you go.
So, if you guys have something that you want to address to Artie and see if, we can get some resolution, please, like I said, just make it, short and sweet and to the point. So that way he can be to the point and try and get you the best answer that he can give you.
I'm very good at predicting people's future love. And I've gotten a lot of testimonials of how they met, where they met, what they looked like. I don't always get names. Sometimes I get names, but I get situations and all. And it's really, really interesting. And all of a sudden I'll start seeing a video in my head of what this person looks like or where you're going to meet them and stuff. And it's really cool. It's like at times in the moment I feel like I'm just talking out of the top of my head. I feel like a little schoolboy sometimes telling little lies. This is what I see. but most of my stuff happens to come true. And it's really cool how it happens. You know, it's like, it just does. It just is.
Yeah.
So I've learned just to trust in the universe, that when I feel what I feel and I see what I see, and I'm looking into the future, and I don't create the future, I share with you what the angels and the Holy Spirit shares with me, or your loved ones who have crossed over, what they shared with me. So whatever I get, I share with you. But no, I feel very confident when it comes to describing people's future love. Now people have asked me, you know, the girls, you know, the girl who I'm with and the girls who I've been with before, did I know that I was going to be with them? Like, did you predict this? Or you know, it's not like I hold their hand and say, oh yeah, I see you being with me. Yeah, and you're going to have a really good time. You don't know it yet, but don't worry, you'll get with the picture later. Like, I don't see this at all. There's times where, what was it? A couple of times where I dated a couple of girls, and I described the person who they were going to be with, not realizing I was talking about myself. And because I had the same qualities and whatnot, but I honestly did not know that this was me. And this was when I was not married. I was in between my relationships, and it turned out to be, you know, I described, and I don't even remember saying what I say, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, once somebody's in my life and once they leave, it's just like, you know.
So we already have like quite a few questions here. If you want to,
please go ahead.
Start a little early.
And I have a really funny story. I got a really funny story.
I will tell you a story first. Let's do
Tell
that.
a funny story.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, this isn't about love, but it's a great, true, funny story. So here I am. I'm in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Right? I'm in a restaurant. And my wife, who was my wife at the time, she goes to the bathroom, and there's this table right next to us, like literally right next to us. It's a string of 8 people, friends hanging out and stuff like that. And so they were very friendly to me, and they're talking to me. And so the one lady goes, oh, so, you know, so what do you do? And I said, I'm a psychic. And they go, really? So of course it instantly became topic
Yes.
of everything. So there's a guy all the way at the end of the table. He goes, oh, I don't know if I believe in that stuff. And this guy, John Edward, and when he had his TV show, and there was somebody in the audience or waiting online, and they're listening to the mess, you know, listening to people talk, and they're Googling people. I mean, this guy was so full of crap, you know, and he says, oh, they're trying to get information.
It's like Madame Cleo.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like ridiculous. And it's like, oh, they just look up the information that fast on the internet, you know. And so anyway, he says, do you believe in him? Do you believe in John Edward? And I said, I 100% believe he has the gift. I believe he's a talented person. Is he always on? Nobody's ever always on. You know, as far as behind the scenes and all that stuff, you know, I'm not there. So, but, you know, do I 100% believe in the psychic ability and the mediumship and being able to connect to the loved ones who have passed away? Of course, because that's what I do. That's what she does. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so the guy goes, I think that's a bunch of malarkey. I don't think, he said, you could just look up the information really quick on the internet that quick. And he goes, I said, no. I said, that's not how I work. And he's thinking that you're judging the person, you know? So he said, well, can you read me? And so I said, yeah, come here. So he comes over. You know, when there's a bunch of energy in the room, it's either I'll hold the person's hand or I'll hold on to something of theirs. You know, whether it be their jewelry, their wallet, whatever, their keys. So I said, all right, you have your keys on you? So he says, yeah, because I didn't feel like holding his hand in public.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
He was already skeptical.
Yeah, he was always skeptical enough. Right? We didn't need to throw more energy into the fire, right? More negativity into the fire. So anyway, so I hold his keys. While I'm holding his keys, I said to him, and everyone's looking at me. So I said to him, I said, I see you searching for a jewelry piece. I said, an expensive jewelry piece that means a lot to you, and you're wondering if you misplaced it or if it was stolen. And his mouth opened up, and he goes, just yesterday, he goes, I had my mother's diamond ring on the windowsill, and I had guys working on my bathroom. I had these construction people in my bathroom, and like the jewelry piece is missing. He goes, that just happened last week. He goes, how did you know that? I said, well, it is gone. I said, they stole it. I said, one guy stole it. And he goes, how did you know that? I said, it was easy. I looked up your information. I said, I just Googled it. Of course, I was just joking because I just met the guy. I said, I just looked up the information. So he goes, try that again. I said, all right.
Oh, God.
So I hold his keys again. And, everyone at the table is like making all these funny comments and going crazy and stuff. So I hold his keys again. And I said, you're contemplating changing insurance companies. And I said, there's a new insurance policy coming in. And I feel like the new one's the better one. But you're contemplating whether you should go with this new insurance company. He goes, yeah, with my health insurance, with my job. He goes, I was looking at those papers yesterday too, and that my company gave me an opportunity whether to go with the new one or stay with the old one. So I said, you stay with the new one. I said, go with the new one. I said, that's the better one. And he goes, how did you know that? I said, it was easy. I looked up your information. So, it's like I said, how do I know what I know? It's just, the spiritual world is generous. Yeah, you can't explain it. It just is, it just is. It's just a matter of having blind faith, and we develop a language.
Yes.
Herself, myself, all
Absolutely.
our other psychic friends. You develop a relationship, you develop a language with the other side, and they send you information. And so what a cemetery might mean to her will mean something different to me. What a song might mean to her will mean something different to me. So you have this rapport with the spiritual world, and so when they send you these messages, you know what it means.
I'm still deciphering some of these, new
and
skills.
You figure it out,
Because I had a reading last week. A girl comes in, I'm reading for her. The first thing I do is I kind of get some information from them while they're mixing the cards, in my head. I just gather some energy. And all of a sudden, the first thing I heard was the Wizard of Oz, the Lollipop Guild. And I'm like, what
do you do with that?
What do I do with this? I'm seeing the guys going, the Lollipop Guild, and I'm like, okay, she's gonna think I'm cuckoo. So I told her anyway, this is what I'm hearing, this is what I'm seeing. I see lollipops like this. Come to find out later in the reading, for some reason I asked her, are you going back to nursing school first, or going to school for nursing and thinking of working with children? It was like, blah, 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 blah. It just came out. And she goes, yeah. I said, well, there you go. That's the Lollipop Guild. That's the song. That's the connection to what I told you earlier. I said, I wasn't sure what it was. I said, but now we both know.
See, I would have thought something totally different with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have meant something totally different. That lingo, her connection, she knew.
Yeah,
and for me, it totally would have made certain. It would have been something different. But the spiritual world knows as far as how to connect to you. And for me, songs. When I hear songs in my head, I'll tell you, I'm never wrong when I hear songs, because whatever that song is about, that will just naturally come into my head. That's what you're going through, or that's what the person's going through. All right. So what's the question?
All right. So Ilana Gottwald. She says, do you see me finding my happily ever after in 2017? And she said, is that person going to be her soulmate?
Actually, no. I don't see you meeting your wonderful in 2017. Actually, I see it in 2019. The end of 2018 to 2019, you will be with the person who you're meant to be with at that time. And I feel very confident. I am strongly seeing the end of 2018, beginning of 2019.
Excellent.
Well, maybe not for her, but she's open.
No, but I mean,
but that's what I got. That's what I got.
That's a good thing. I mean, you have a little more time to kind of relax and
just know it's coming.
Yeah.
Just know it's coming. But I strongly see the beginning of 2019.
All right, we got Shannon Crossan. Hi, Shannon. She said, I would like to know if I'll be in love again and have children. What's in store for my future?
Will she be in love? And what's her name?
Shannon.
I like that name, Shannon. All right, will she be in love again? Now, the reason why I'm shuffling up these cards, because it puts me in an altered state of mind. And these are tarot cards. I don't read tarot cards. It's like I flip them, but it just, puts me in an altered state. And what I'm doing now is I'm just shuffling them. So Shannon, I apologize. The question.
She wants to know if I'll be in love again and have children. What's in store for my future?
She'll be in love 2 more times. She'll be in love 2 more times. The first one, it'll be a nice relationship. It's only going to last about 6 months to a year, and then 2 years after that. 2 years after. No, wait. 2 years after her relationship ends, that's when she's going to be with the person who she'll be with for the rest of her life. That's what I see.
Was there
But you'll be
children?
in love 2 times.
Because she said, will I be in love again and have children?
Will she be in love again and have... Well, I mentioned the in love again. Will you have children? Yes. Yes. Now, I'm having a little hard time trying to understand the message, but I'm going to tell you what I get. Either A, the fellow who you're with is either going to have 2 children and you're going to have 1 child with him, or he has 1 child and you're going to have 2 children with him. So altogether, somehow, some way, there's going to be 3 children. I don't feel like they're all going to biologically be yours, but I do see you eventually with 3 kids.
All right. Well, that's a good thing. We got Denise Lubansky.
Hold on a second. And also, one of the kids, they're going to be born either on your birthday or within a week of your birthday. And if it's not your birthday, it will be the fellow who you end up being with.
Okay. Denise Lubansky. Is my husband truly my soulmate?
He is. That's what I heard. He is. Yes.
Nicola Bennett. Will I marry an old flame or someone I haven't met yet?
You like to go back into your past, and you get stuck in your past, and you have a hard time letting go of your past. Your past is not your best bet, but you have a habit of going comfortably, it's comfortable for you going back to what you've always known. I also feel like your past flame, you're in love with who you think he is or who you want him to be. That's what you're in love with. You're in love with the infatuation of what he could be or what he used to be, but he's not the same person anymore. So, but as far as the nature and the character of how he is, that's the same. But he's not going to meet up to your expectation. So do I feel like your best bet is somebody new? Yes, going back to your past. It's not one of your best bets. But just because I said don't go back to your past, it doesn't mean you're not going to go back to your past. It's just, I would just say that you'd be a sucker if you did.
All right.
And I say that lovingly.
We got Jen Baird. I'd like to know if I'm with the guy I'm meant to be with. He is my children's father, and we have been together 5 years.
Huh. You want to know something? This is a relationship that definitely needs work where the 2 of you are going to have to, we were talking about this earlier, as far as connecting and being intimate with each other and going out on weekends without the kids. So if you could incorporate the intimacy, the puppy love, the honeymoon stage with each other, and keep that fun and vivacious and be spontaneous with each other, then yes. If you allow yourself just to stay in the mommy-daddy stage, and I could see it falling into complacency, it's going to turn into a brother-sisterly type of relationship, and there's going to be a lot of resentment. So I feel like this is a situation where it literally could go one way or the other. Staying together for a while, yes, but if you want that fun romance and all that good stuff, then definitely, go away with each other without the kids, and that will create the spark. That will keep the pizzazz going,
All right. Jocelyn Rzuski. I think I said that right.
I'm sure you'd say it better than me.
Should my husband and I stay together, or are we doomed to fail?
No, it's funny. I'm hearing a song in my head. Should I stay or should I go now?
Yeah, right?
If I go, there will be trouble. What's her name again?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. She keeps on saying to herself, what am I here for? What am I here for? What am I here for? That's what I keep on hearing her say. What am I here for? It's like, I feel like there's, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like the 2 of you are on different pages with each other. You're not seeing from each other's same point of view, and I don't think it's ever going to get to that point of where you want it to be. Could you remain together for a long time? Yes, but I don't feel like super happily. It's more or less tolerating each other than it is like I'm in love with you type of situation. So, you know, for me personally, I'm always, like when I'm in a relationship, I always need to be in that puppy love stage, that honeymoon stage. And a lot of people have said, you know, that only works in fairy tales. It's not always like that. And that's not true, because all my past relationships, when I've been in a relationship, I've always kept it in that honeymoon loving stage. And it's not that you have to go out all the time. But, you know, I do like to go out. I like to be spontaneous. And, you know, so it's just very important to connect and to compromise and to do all that stuff. But I feel like the two of you are like on two separate pages. Both of you have two separate agendas. So, like I said, it's like, how long do you want to tolerate it? So, is it doomed for failure? I feel like, unfortunately, I feel like yes. But it's going to take, if you don't want that to happen, then the two of you are going to really need to get it together and start going out with each other and going out with other friends and just, you know, keeping it fun and light. A lot of times people survive their life rather than just living their life. And I feel like your relationship, it's in that survival mode rather than just really enjoying each other's company. So.
Yeah, she says that's her fear.
So.
Jasmin.
Just keep it fun. Just, you know, do things that will keep it fun.
All right, so you know, and I can understand where Damien says, oh, that just disappeared. Because I've had some questions that have just kind of dropped off here.
Okay.
I know I saw Jean's, I think I saw Jean's question here. Let me see. I know Jean wanted to know about her daughter.
She's scrolling down looking at all the questions.
It says,
there's lots of them.
Will my daughter marry her current boyfriend, or is someone else in her future?
Okay.
She's worried about her daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah, I was just going to say, with a question like that, it tells you I'm not happy with this guy. Will she get rid of him, and will she be with somebody else? That's what that question usually indicates. Unfortunately, I feel like she's going to give this one a run. I feel like she's going to give this one a shot. I don't feel like it's going to last a long time, but I do feel like she is going to give it a shot. With this relationship, her best move is just to live with him, because I feel like in about 2 or 3 years there's going to be a blowout. So if they choose to get married, it's going to last 2 or 3 years, and if they live together, it'll last about 2 or 3 years. But around the 2-3 year mark, I feel like, actually 2.5 to 3 years, I feel like it's going to last that long. And there's nothing, unfortunately, what you can do about it. So, and don't allow yourself to intertwine. She has to go through her experience, and the more you try to show any disgust or your opinions, it's only going to cause more animosity between you and her.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Maya's got a question. She says, will I have a relationship soon? And if so, when will we meet?
What's her first name?
Maya.
Maya. Will I have a relationship soon? All right, the first thing that I'm getting is that you need to go out more. And when you go out, you tend to go out with friends where you're not really allowing, you know, other people to intertwine with you because you're caught up with the people who you're with. So like that's your comfort zone. Literally, I'm hearing a voice in my head that said the way for you to start meeting people, and you're not going to like this at all, is to go online dating service. It's going to be approximately your 5th person that you come across, that you date through the dating service, that, you know, online dating, that you're going to end up like having a very strong connection with. But you're going to go through a few different personalities before you hit the one. So you kind of have to stretch yourself.
All right. Let's see.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Oh, Jean says thanks. There's no talk of marriage yet.
Oh, okay.
Jean with her daughter?
Yep.
All right. Hillary Barrios. Hillary, you're killing me with this last name here.
All right, don't say the last name.
All right, so Hillary
she knows who she is
my twin flame on the other side.
Oh, on the other side of the universe, like up over there.
Yeah.
You want to know something?
Because remember we were saying how one time you could be here and the other, your twin flame could be...
You're going to think I'm crazy for saying this, and I see this very clearly. Your twin flame is literally on the different side of the earth. I feel like your twin flame is here, and I feel like your twin flame is in a different country. I don't feel like it's here. But I don't know how it's going to happen just yet. Just know that you're going to meet somebody from a different country, and literally don't be surprised if this person is either from England or from Australia. But I'm hearing that kind of a accent as far as who you're going to end up being with.
All right. Lori Carrera. I feel like I have finally found my soulmate, hopefully after my doomed 13-year marriage. I'd love to know if it's finally the true blessed one.
Okay. Okay, now I don't know if this is you or this is him. I feel like this relationship could really, really manifest itself into something really cool, really powerful, really passionate. I feel like it can go really, really well. However, my only concern that could possibly sabotage this, whether it be you or whether it be him, that you don't allow your past relationships or your past thought process of your past relationships to intervene into this relationship. You can't beat each other up based on what your previous relationship has done to you. So long as you can keep that separate, your relationship is going to be fantastic.
All right, good advice. Let's see.
Now, I want everyone to know that when I give you all these answers, this is not coming directly from me. I'm not giving you my opinion.
Right.
So I won't tell you, well, what I think is, it's always what I feel. Because what I feel is what I feel. Because what I feel is like, this is the spiritual world giving me this information, and I'm sharing with you the information of what comes to me. So I very, very rarely will tell you what I think. If I tell you what I think, then it is coming from me. So by accident, sometimes I'll say, well, what I think is, and I'll say, if I catch myself, I'll say, no, I'm sorry, it's not what I think, it's what I feel. So that's the difference between thinking and feeling.
Yeah, that's good to mention.
Getting to know you, getting to feel you inside.
Where'd that song come from?
I don't know, I just said it.
All right, Deanna DaCosta. Is my twin flame currently in my life, or have they ever been?
I don't feel that's, no. I don't feel like it at all. No.
So she hasn't met them
You
yet?
haven't met the twin flame yet.
All right, let's see. Oh, Pamela McCadden. Will me and my husband be together this time next year?
Good question.
Mm.
Let me feel it. Give me her name again.
Oh. Her name is Pamela McCadden.
You want to know something? I believe in signs. And I told you, I just happen to shuffle up the cards and I just get... And I don't read tarot cards. But this card, bring it closer to the screen. No, actually, no, it's upside down. I want it to be upside down because that's how it came out. All right, you're stuck, and that's your answer. So do I feel like the two of you will be together right now at this time next year? I doubt it. And this card literally flew out while I was shuffling, so that was a sign, unfortunately. And I'm not always filled with bad news. I do give a lot of good news too. There are times where people say, you know, where they feel like doom and gloom with their relationship, and I said, don't worry about it. It's actually going to pull through. So it's not always bad. There is good stuff too. But as a matter of fact, the girl who I just read for, where I didn't see you being with your husband by this time next year or whatnot, you are going to be getting a new dog within that time, though. I definitely saw a new puppy dog or a new pet coming into your life. So I strongly see that.
All right, so we're gonna. Let me just sit down for a second.
Have a seat.
Oh, God.
Go ahead, Grandma. Come on.
I'm too old to be
on,
on
Grandma.
the floor.
Okay, so we're going to take, a few more questions, and then we're gonna chill and we're gonna talk a little bit more, and then we're gonna just say sayonara until next time. So I just don't want, if we didn't get to you,
Don't take it
sorry.
personally, that's right.
I did scroll through and go according to who I saw.
Hold
barely.
on. I would just like to say, for anyone who's joining who's never heard me before, you know, I also do phone readings, and we were going to mention your number too. My number, if you want a personal reading, okay, because I'm out of the New York, New Jersey area, my number is 877 Angel 02, 877 Angel 02. You could email me at Artie Hoffman at Gmail, and then my website is artiehoffman.com, ARTIEHOFFMAN.com, or at Gmail. And what's your number for people who want to come to the Blue Fairey?
Oh yeah.
And your personal
Located inside the Stagecoach House Inn, which is an historic building, which is sight to be seen in itself. And you can find it at 1136 Main Street in Wyoming, Rhode Island. Phone number is 401-680-3973. And you can always message me on Facebook, and you can also certainly go to thebluefairy.com and see all different upcoming events. Artie's event is actually on the website, so people, if they don't have Facebook, can always go there too and see, you know, different workshops and things. I am so appreciative of everyone that came and is live with us, talking with us, and
yeah, it's fun.
interacting.
They're having a lot of fun.
It really is. I love doing this every week. So.
And I have mine Sunday nights
Yep.
at 9 p.m.
Yep, you can like Artie's
Sunday,
page
yeah.
on Facebook.
Facebook, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and he takes questions.
And I take questions on every level,
Yes.
not just relationships, on every level, and it's a lot of fun. So.
All right, so let's see. Let me see who we've got here. I got to go back over here. Brian Charon. My partner and I are moving in together in a few months. We communicate and get along really well. How do we know if we are soulmates or twin flames?
I don't think you have to, for this situation, I don't feel like you have to know, are you soulmates or twin flames? You know, whether you are or you're not. The bottom line is, are you compatible? It's not important, and I say this with your relationship specifically. I don't know why I'm saying this. I feel like this is a relationship that if you just took it day by day, allow it to grow on its own merits. And don't worry, are we soulmates or are we twin flames? Because it's all about you guys getting along with each other. That's the bottom line. You don't have to identify it. You know, it's not like you have to be engaged, you have to be married, are we soulmates? The bottom line is, how do you feel in your heart? And if how you feel in your heart where you really love that person, then that's the person who you need to be with. You don't need myself or anybody else to say, are we soulmates or are we twin flames? How do you feel in your heart? You're the one who knows. You got to follow your gut instincts.
Yeah.
When the chemistry is there with whoever you're with, if you have chemistry with that person, all right, just because they're a nice person, just because they might be nice looking, or just because they have a lot of money, it doesn't mean that, you know, this is my twin flame or this is my soulmate, this is who I'm going to be with. It's all in the chemistry. It's like, we know, when you kiss each other, when you're around each other. Do you nurture each other? Do you accommodate one another? Do you appreciate one another? Do you look forward to talking to one another? When you have that, that's your answer, you know. But, you know, as far as being soulmates, certain soulmates are together only for a short period of time, and then they part ways, and then they go in different directions. Just because you go in different directions, you know, after you've been together for, whether it be 6 months, a year, 10 years down the road, doesn't mean that you guys weren't soulmates. Sometimes, you know, it's a good time. It's not a lifetime.
All right, I have Andrea Shank Britt. What can I expect with love in 2017?
What do you think, I'm psychic? What are you asking me for? Let me think. What's her name?
Andrea.
Andrea. For 2017, she wants to know what's going on in 2017.
For love, yeah.
For love. Of course, for love, because that's what we're talking about, love. All right, hold on. Andrea. You're gonna, one of two things is how I see you meeting somebody this year in 2017. It has to do, it's going to be at a local place that you go to on a regular basis. That's what I see. Whether it be a diner, whether it be a bar/restaurant, it's a place where it's within the same county of where you're living. So this person's pretty local, all right? And I see you meeting somebody on a place where, you know, is local, where you frequently visit or you go to, whether it be for breakfast or whether it be for, you know, nighttime. And I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like there's somebody who you know who works there, whether they be the waitress or the bartender or a chef. But I see you going to a place where you know somebody who works at a local place. Like I said, it's not too far away from you. And it's at that place where I see you meeting somebody.
Nice. All right, let me see here.
With all this card shuffling, you would think that I'm doing blackjack. We're going to talk about blackjack and poker and all that other good stuff in a little bit.
Do you know a guy named Geezer's Butler? He's saying, "Hey, Artie," like we knew you or something.
Geezer Butler.
That's
funny.
Yeah, that's what the name says.
It doesn't, you know. How you doing, buddy?
All right. So let's see.
Any more questions?
I'm looking right now. Oh, let's see.
What are they saying? Are they saying, "Hey, how's it going?" What are they, shout-outs?
Yeah.
Cool.
Kathy Hewitt. Nope, I'm sorry, Kathy. Heather Ryland. When will I meet my soulmate?
Heather Ryland?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't feel like it's going to be in the near future, unfortunately. I feel like you're going to have to wait a little while. Unfortunately, I'm not getting a time frame. But I don't feel like it's going to be right away. I feel like you still have a few years down the road until you find the one. That's what I'm getting. That's I'm not seeing it specifically how, but I'm just going based on the energy of your question. You know, how soon will I meet somebody? I just feel like it's going to be a few years down the road. I don't feel like it's going to be right away. But it doesn't mean that you can't have fun, you know, dating or going out with people. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting. What do we got?
All right, so that's going to be it for questions. I don't see any more love-related questions in there.
Okay.
But I do have Pamela, who you just did a little reading for. Pamela, if you're interested in, I believe you might be local. Artie's going to be here tomorrow doing some readings. I still have some open appointments. So message me and let me know if that's something you're interested in, and I'll give you the details of the readings, okay? Let's see. All right, so we're just about going to close it up here. I thank everyone for coming and viewing and talking with us. I thank Artie for driving down here and spending his time with me.
I had a blast. It was really cool sharing time with you. And thank you for everything and bringing me this whole new audience. And,
I know, it's a good time.
It was fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I was reading for a bunch of people earlier today, live, you know, in person, and reading for you guys and answering your questions. Boom, 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 boom.
Also,
and it's a lot of fun.
We're gonna set something up in February.
Oh, cool!
Right, we were gonna set up something in February for him to come back and visit with us. For maybe either personal readings or gallery style readings or something.
That's right. We're supposed to do gallery. Yeah.
Yep, it's sometime in February.
Right. So this is where I walk into the audience and I connect to everybody. Well, I'll try to reach to as many people as I can. So whether it be a psychic reading or whether it be I'm connecting to your loved one, I don't know what happens until the moment happens. So, but it's a lot of fun. You'll see that I'm very informative. With lots of information about life itself, and tell you a bunch of funny stories that happen to me personally that you'll appreciate, and again, connected to you on a personal note. And I'd like to thank this lovely person for having me on with her on her show, so that's really cool. So again, thank you.
I'm not sure what next Tuesday's topic will be. I haven't really
Figured it out yet? Okay, that's
but
all right.
if anything, you know, I'll always be here. Maybe we'll do some one-card readings or something real quick if I don't have another guest to come on. But, you know, I will be here 4 o'clock on Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to join in, and we'll have some more fun. Until then, thanks, Artie.
Thank you.
We'll see you then.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.